Oh, this is Mr. Waitbot.
It's no secret.
Woo! Hey, everybody. It's Barsha 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 Barsha. I'm pinging everyone in.
You love me.
Ooh, I see some people coming in. This is very exciting.
It's no secret. You know it's true.
We got a great show today.
I love you. The only time we seem to meet.
Woo! Hello, everybody.
Let me tell you all a story about a little girl.
Today we have an incredible guest,
She could die.
and I am about to introduce this friend of mine, this incredible activist, author, actress, songwriter, more accolades than you can imagine. The most fantastic person in the world, Kate Siahaan-Rigg. And I'm going to sing a little opening song for you. Where do you go on Mondays when you want to have fun? And where can you go on Mondays when your day is done? Well, Fireside Chat is where it's at. Come join us for the best. Now join me in welcoming someone big, Kate Siahaan-Rigg. Join me in welcoming Kate Siahaan-Rigg. Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, there she is. I want to say, Kate, I said your name correctly, didn't I?
I enjoyed that song. Yes. You did say it for a white person who didn't know. You did it really well.
That's right. A white person who didn't know and had to practice it a million times. Speaking of that, can we please, in this interview, I know you, I know everything you've done, but we've got to tell people a couple of things you've done. I know we want to talk about very serious subjects and wonderful things.
I don't know if you don't know everything I've done.
That is
you don't know
true.
everything I've done. Did you know that I lived with a porn star for 1.5 years?
No, I did
and
not
wrote
know
adult
that.
Films?
Okay.
See?
That's true.
Did you know that I was a brand consultant to HP and the Whitney Museum? No, you did not.
Wow. Would you like...
That one's not really a laugh line. I don't know if that one's funny. Did you know that I have a fart gun right here on the ready for jokes? Oh, yeah.
Kate, can you just tell us a little bit of your background? Because you have such an interesting lineage. Oh my God. Kate, you're frozen.
I am a mixed breed. What? How dare you?
No, so okay, go ahead. You were frozen for a minute. Go ahead.
Okay, am I unfrozen now?
You're unfrozen.
Huge delay because I can hear it coming out through your studio.
Oh, how weird. Go ahead.
Okay, well, yeah, I have a huge delay. Okay, well, I'll just speak and then I'll pause for the echo and then you'll talk.
That's
How about
what
that?
they first did in the pandemic, all the news shows. Remember? There was that giant silence. So where are you? What's happening? I'm here with so-and-so.
I'm in my office. Oh, yeah, exactly. All right, so I'll speak slowly and clearly. Um, I'm so happy to be here, Barsha Barsha Barsha. I am basically, I've been a hyphenate my whole life, Deborah. I am a person of mixed race, so I have an Asian mom, and my dad is a big fat white guy from Australia. So he's a Caucasian, which is interesting because he put his cock in an Asian and they got me. What? Who said that? Where's the gun? It's already getting salty, and I barely even told you anything. I try not to use the word Caucasian too often on podcasts, but you know.
This is really upsetting with this latency thing.
Me?
I'm really upset with this latency thing. I don't know what's going on, and I hope it's okay, because you keep kind of. Oh, Stephanie's here, who is one of the creators.
What did I do?
Well, we'll find out from Stephanie.
I have a suggestion. So sometimes it can be an issue.
What the hell, Stephanie?
So I can't go on video right now.
Okay. But this is Stephanie. She's helping us.
But what I was going to suggest is that sometimes it can help to exit the app and come back in with that latency issue. Sometimes it's as simple as everyone muting, but we kind of solved that. So I feel like it could be the exit out and come back. I'm not trying to make this harder, though, because if it was hard to get in, I'm not trying to kick you out.
I can kind of understand.
Did you hear me, Deborah?
Yes, I did. And Kate, so she's saying to go out and come back in, and I'll stretch like my father used to do as an anchorman on the news.
Well, I'll just exit the app and then you'll invite me back.
Yeah,
in?
also you're freezing a little bit, so go to where your internet is really good.
Yeah, that could be part of the issue too. It's just a different location.
Yeah, you're
with
freezing.
better.
Stephanie, you're the best. Okay. Well, while Kate is exiting the app and coming back on, I want to explain who Kate is. Seriously,
I'm leaving. I'll come back in a second.
Come back.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
Yes, she's leaving, and people are clapping, and that's not what we meant to have happen. But anyway, let's talk about Kate for a minute while she's gone. Leave the app. We still see you. Leave the show. Okay. So Kate is a really good friend of mine that I met through another person who you might know, who's her partner, and she'll probably talk about Deidre Lovejoy, who is on The Wire and is also on Blacklist now. And Kate is her own performer in her own right. She graduated from Juilliard. She's going to tell you a lot more things than I'm going to tell you. But she has been, you probably, if you think about it, you've seen her on episodes of Law and Order. You've seen her do all the things, but she also has her own group that I saw perform. And as soon as she gets back here, I'm going to talk about it. This group is amazing. It has an electric violinist and Kate, and they write these original, and I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm going to invite Kate to video, and we're at a perfect point where if she comes back and there's no latency, she can actually describe it. Are you there, and are you good?
I don't know. Am I
yes,
good?
You are. You're there and you're good.
Okay, it worked. I'll go back in the audience.
Right.
Have a great show.
Stephanie, you're the greatest. Okay. So, Kate, I was just about to tell them, is it still latent for you when I talk?
Yeah.
Oh, bad. I don't know what that is.
No, you're pretty good.
Oh, good. Kate, I was just about to tell them about.
Bad.
Oh my God. Stephanie.
Okay, one more thing. One more thing. Kate, what are you using to speak through? Are you using the...
Nobody panic.
Yeah, we're not panicking. What are you using to speak through? Are you using like AirPods or, oh no, you've got the dangly... Okay, I gotcha.
I got a microphone.
Yep, you have the microphone. Okay, yeah, see if you can get to a better Wi-Fi area in your house. And then, Deborah, I'm going to pop out and just email the team really quick while you're in your show. And so we'll get you some support. So hang in there. I'm gonna go get with the team.
Hey, Stephanie.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, am I latently to you?
You're good, Deborah. You're great.
I'm good.
You're great.
Is it because I'm simulcasting on YouTube?
No.
Okay. Kate, she's going to help us.
Should we start
We're gonna.
again? I just want
Okay,
to
stay
start
right there. Your
again.
internet's perfect. All right, here we go. Should I finish?
All my cocktails are in the other room. That's so
Okay.
bad. Okay.
All right, here we go. Should I sing the end of the song too? No.
You know what? This audience has already had themselves burnt out by tech
That's
issues.
true.
So let's
keep going. So I was going to tell them.
Just
I was going to tell them about this amazing band that I saw, and it was after the premiere of your movie. Kate made a movie. Do you want to tell them what the name of the movie was? Who directed it? Go ahead.
Yeah. I was about to tell you guys that I'm a mixed race person. I'm half white, I'm half Asian. I grew up in Canada. I did my undergrad degree in Australia in something called subcultures and creative writing. And I have been making theater and writing since high school, basically. I did a little television in Canada when I was a teenager. I went to 2 really intense conservatory summer programmings at American Academy of Dramatic Arts when I was 17, and then the British American Drama Academy when I was 18. Then I moved to Australia. I started directing because everybody was racist and nobody wanted to cast me in a show as an actor. So I was like, oh, fuck that. I'll learn how to direct. Talking real fast. Hope that's okay.
Yes.
So then I was directing, but I got interested. I was in the creative writing program. So I wrote my first sort of solo show in Australia when I was 19. And there's a theater there called La Mama, which is based on the La Mama here in New York City. It's an experimental theater club. That's where I did it. I got a couple of grants from the Australia Council because I also knew that the flip side of being a person of color who nobody wants to put in anything in, the 80s and sort of the 90s and the early 2000s is that you also can get a lot of grants just by going, hi, I'm Asian. So I did that all through the year 2000s. And I got a lot of support to make new work, which was helpful. And then I moved to New York to go to the Juilliard School of Drama, which I specifically picked because I knew that there would be artists from other disciplines under the same roof, like composers and dancers and percussionists and, whatever, opera singers. And to this day, I maintain relationships with people I met at that place and create work with them. And I was one of only 2 recipients of something called the InterArts Award, which is an award they gave to people who worked across disciplines. Because at a place like Juilliard, you don't have any time. Like whatever your discipline is, you're working from morning till night on your own rehearsals and your own stuff. So it really took a lot of elbow grease to make projects with other people from other divisions and schedule it, but we did it. And what you're talking about then is something called Happy Lucky Golden Tofu Panda Dragon Good Time Fun Show, which was a show. It was a show I did also at La Mama here, the La Mama in New York City, about stereotypes as they apply to Asian Americans and how they're viewed by people in the West. So the title, Happy Lucky Golden Tofu Panda Dragon Good Time Fun Show, was kind of a sort of a parody of how, signage appears in Asian businesses in the West. And then we dealt with things like, nail salon owners and body image and racial language, stuff like that. And that show was made with 2 of my colleagues from Juilliard, a violinist called Lyris Hung, who I play with in a band called Slanty Eyed Mama. So much information for your listeners.
Well, wait. Can we stop at Slanty Eyed Mama for a second?
But also it was directed by someone from Juilliard too. So it was all Juilliard people all over the place in that thing.
Yes.
You don't have to clap Juilliard. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they can clap. Don't tell them not to clap.
Oh, so I thought it was you. I thought it was you, Deborah.
No, I'm not doing these reactions. That's the audience.
Oh, okay. Then you can clap Juilliard. Go ahead.
No, I'm not laughing or clapping. You're getting real laughing and clapping, which is fantastic. But I do want to say something because I said something really stupid. First of all, can you explain racism to me? Because I said to you, what's your lineage? No, in other words, I said, what's your lineage? Is that like racist to say that? I'm serious. Is that like some white privilege thing?
Deborah, I can't explain racism to you in 45 minutes.
No, I know about racism.
Here you go. Let me explain racism to you in 30 seconds. No, even in 12 seconds. Ready? Racism. It's bad.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, no, but what I meant was, I don't know, when I say lineage, I just thought it was so cool that you came from Australia and I wasn't even talking about race. Okay.
My dad's Australian, yeah.
Right. The other thing that I wanted to say about slanty-eyed mama, I said to you the other day, is that culture, like, is that taking stereotypes and co-opting it as your own, like me? And I said to her, is it like me saying, big nose mama or something, like a stereotype that some would say a Jewish person had a big nose? I mean, and you say slanty-eyed mama because you're dealing, and you said, no, let me explain it on the
depends
show.
on everything depends on, culturally, we're in a really interesting time right now because people under the age of, let's say, 35
Right.
have been raised with this sort of multiplicity of identity available to them. And so they're getting very specific about choosing how they want to identify in the world, whether it's sexually or their gender or their ethnic identity or their national origin identity or their cultural identity or even their job. So people are there's a lot of choices and it's very overwhelming sometimes. But when you approach racial language, there are several schools of thought. There are some schools of thought that say you should never, ever in a work of art or in popular culture even mention racial language. Hence, we have the N-word, right? We say the N-word. You don't even say the word because it's so triggering to people.
Right.
Then you have some people who, like Chris Rock and other artists that are African American, have doggedly, and maybe they're changing now, but in their legacy work in the 90s and 2000s and stuff, were sort of reoccupying and reclaiming racial language. And then there's some people like myself who take the approach that, especially with Asian Americans, because Asian Americans have not until very recently been really in the conversation about race in America. We have not. It's been a racial binary, and that's because of the history of this country. Even though I will put to you that Asians have been here a long time, like since the turn of the 20th century as immigrants and working. But even when they were here and they were settled and they were doing things, and everybody always talks about the railroad, but they were doing other things too. They have been considered foreigners sort of squatting in America in terms of cultural discourse about race in America. God, we're getting serious quick. Okay. So anyways, so my work as a comedian and as a writer is about sort of exploring these ideas. And it's always about, because I am, Asian American and Asian, I'm a Canadian actually, but I'm
a Canadian.
I'm Asian North American. So my work has always been about sort of just inserting us into that conversation about race, not claiming that we have an equal, or you can't quantify it anyways, but that we have the same discourse as African Americans or other, people who are hyphenated Americans, but really just saying, and this is what I was starting saying when I did my first show, which was called Kate's Chink-O-Rama, featuring the Chink-O-Rama dancers. I so purposely used the word chink. I couldn't do it now, and I wouldn't do it now. But back in the year 2000, when I launched that show, fresh out of Juilliard, with 3 dancers, by the way, from Juilliard, and some musicians and stuff, that was really about, listen, we need to talk about racism and Asian America because nobody was including us in the conversation. So I purposely used an extremely provocative word in the title, the word chink. And it was so that the conversation could happen, because words are not actually the problem. People, acting on their prejudice, and people disenfranchising other people, and people behaving violently or making other people have less rights than them is the problem. The words are just almost like the doorway to the problem. And so I really was like, okay, I'm not going to hide under, talk around it. We're going to talk about this word, what it means, what its origin are, and the thing about the word chink, which I was exploring at the time in that show, is that word was leveled at people of Chinese origin, Thai origin, Indonesian origin, Vietnamese. Everybody was called a chink. And so then you have to question, what the hell does this word even mean? And what it means is that the person using it is belittling and dehumanizing the person they're using it on. So that's really what that show was about.
Right.
So all of my solo work has been sort of a continued exploration of our place in Western culture, since I am one of those.
I really want to.
So boring.
No.
You want to talk about the porn star? I'm just kidding.
You can talk about the porn star.
I don't need to talk about the porn
star. But I do want to say that
my therapist and I talked enough about the porn star. I don't need to go back there with you.
Yes. But you have these reviews where like people say Kate Rigg is a festival unto herself.
Haha.
I thought that was really good. But
Oh,
you know,
I kinda
you one of your favorite is it Slanty-Eyed Mama?
That's
I
my
think-
band. And I called it that for the same reason, but it's a little more gentle than the word chink. Slanty-Eyed Mama. Again, we called it that. And we every year we're like, should we rename the band? Is it too harsh? And then it's actually Lyris, the violin player, is like, nope. She doesn't want to because we feel that until, there's a more equitable world for Asian Americans in culture, and especially now when we're under so much attack in America, good God, because of Trump calling it the Kung flu and the China virus, and everybody somehow deciding that Asian Americans somehow brought coronavirus to the States, which is insane because it's people actually from Italy and England who brought it here first. But anyways, we are under a series of very, very disturbing and almost relentless daily physical attacks, not to mention all the tiny little microaggressions that are going on as well.
Right.
So it's a concerning time. And so, these are difficult issues. These are difficult times. Nobody really wants to, people would prefer not to talk about it. So like having a band called Slanty-Eyed Mama, kind of, if you're going to go see them, you're going to hear about,
I know, but I saw that, and let me tell you why my mouth hung open when I saw you. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, you can't categorize the music. You've got an electric violinist up there. You've got a classic rap beat going on underneath.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
she's not a classical. I mean, she's trained classically, obviously. And she's not really a jazz violinist either. She's
like
kind
a rock violinist.
She's like a rock violinist. Yeah.
She's better than most of the ones you've heard of, I think.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, I put your link to your website and the fortune cookie that's going across the thing here. So if anybody wants to check out katerigg.com, please do. But I'm wondering if I play one of the Slanty-Eyed Mama songs, like Rice, Rice Baby, or what was Rice, Rice Baby? I'm sorry, that's really good. What was the other one that you told me to play? Because there's like
I sent
three.
you Me Love You Long Time, but Me Love You Long Time takes a little while to amp up. It amps up in after the second chorus.
Because what are we going to do sitting here? We're going to react to it? See, I wish we could show the video. Do you know what I mean? Because it'd be so great because it's you guys playing live. Should I play a little bit of which one is the best to get an idea of what you feel?
I don't know. I guess just play a little bit of Rice Rice Baby, and then we can talk about what it is. I mean, it's pretty obvious what it is. But go ahead.
So let me play a little bit of Rice.
I'll lip sync. So
that's a great idea. I did that last week with one of my songs.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
it'll probably be unsynced, but I'll weirdly lip sync.
Lip sync. So this is Slanty-Eyed Mama live, and it was in Toronto, right? And they call it Yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell you. Okay, here is Slanty-Eyed Mama. I love this so much. Let me make it louder. Okay, I just have to back it up. What?
I'm gonna lip sync for you guys. It's gonna be crazy.
I know it's gonna be. I did that last week. Trust me.
I feel like there's an intro that's spoken, so that'll be interesting. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Cross-cultural confusion say, wise guy round eye no should be afraid to trade in his home fries for a nice bowl of steamed what? Rice, baby. Rice, rice, baby. Rice, rice, baby. Rice, rice, baby. Okay, you wanna steam my dumpling? Slanty Mama gonna make your roll spring. Hi, Mr. Round Eye White Guy. How you like my straight hair and slanty eyes? Straight hair, even straight hair down there. If you look in my Hello Kitty underwear, call me, I'll set you straight. When you take me on a racially mixed date, rice. What the Honky Brothers call me, spice. Garlic ginger but no MSG. And if a player wanna kick some Asian game, I say, what you think? All Asian hoochie look the same? Perhaps your chinks and emperor Hawaiian. Those Japs might be gooks made in Taiwan. Order by number till you get it straight. Till you're ready for this dish on your hot plate. Rice, rice, baby. Single white female, hold still while I manicure your nail just right with a delicate French tip. I got your French tip, wanna see where I shoved it down like a sumo on the tarmac. Down, Mount Fuji's on your back. Hot Asian mamas in every direction. Gonna give the boys a big connection. 1-900 Ching Chong, live action, life, Susie Wong. Oriental babies, Oriental tricks. I know how to chop your sticks. Jump in my wok, I'll get the oil. Bring your noodle to an east-west boil. Order by number, sour or sweet. You don't have to be Asian to eat. Rice, rice, baby.
Yeah, you can kill it there.
Yeah, daddy, I'll take in your laundry.
Yeah, and then there's a little more.
Fantastic.
I'm a good lip syncer.
That's what I am called. Listen, you have used the word disorientalism.
Yeah.
And you said to me, come on. Oh, I said, what are we going to do in this?
Hey, what's that? We got a little sound cue.
That's really up for you from the audience. That's
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah. That rice baby. And you said to me, you know what I do is disorientalism.
Yes.
Disorientalism.
That's actually the name of my new show. So these guys are getting to know me a little bit. So I have over the years, I did Kate's Chinkarama. We can talk about why I can no longer use that name anymore, but we don't really need to because I think it's obvious. It's just the world cannot stand to hear triggering language the same way it could before, and maybe doesn't need to be triggered because we've moved along. Although
comedians
maybe not. I don't think we have moved along because guess what? Women are getting pushed in the subway in New York all the time just for being Asians, and our elders are being attacked in Chinatown. So maybe we still need to be fucking triggered to do something about this. Anywho, I've done that show. I've toured as Slanty-Eyed Mama. I had a show called Birth of an Asian. Thank you very much.
Birth of an Asian.
I had that show. What do I get? Do I get some kind of sound? I'll take it. That one was invited to the Smithsonian Institute.
Come on. Wait.
Come on.
You just go over that like it's nothing.
I am a graduate of the Juilliard School. Do you understand? We get invited to things.
She is a graduate of Juilliard.
But you know what? I'm one of those stealthy, not famous, but accomplished people. That's just how it goes. So anyways, we did Birth of an Asian. I had another show that was like a kind of a pastiche that was called Americasiana, which is a play on the idea of Americana. And then, these were all shows that were mostly me and a violinist or me and some dancers. And, all my one-person shows have other people in them because I can't stand to really be on the stage by myself most of the time. But then I was like, this pandemic and this crisis of violence against Asians now has called me to do something else. So back during the pandemic, I actually started producing online for Joe's Pub at the Public Theater. Right. And a couple of other venues like La Mama. These are like two of my home clubs or places. I started producing almost what you would call like variety showcases that I would host of these incredible Asian American, New York-based artists from all disciplines, because I feel like a pathway to healing, both for my community, but also outside of my community, is to really give a platform to storytellers and artists of the Asian persuasion so that we are fully entering the cultural discourse. Because one of the biggest problems, maybe the biggest problem, is this persistent idea that Asian Americans are foreigners, even though we live here, we're born here, we pay taxes here. And it's sort of natural because, there are many generations of new immigrants that keep coming. It's not like African Americans who have several generations born and raised here, grandparents and great-grandparents and stuff. A lot of Asian Americans are first generation. They just got here. Their parents just got here. So they're like one generation in. So they feel like new arrivals. So culturally, we're in this crazy place where it's like Groundhog's Day. Like every day is a new first generation. So we don't feel like part of the national fabric, right?
Right.
So, and yet there are people who are like, I even am only second generation. My parents were immigrants, so, it's going to take 100 years before we feel like part of, America. So I feel like having Asian artists and really showcasing them, giving them a platform, and I host them in that irreverent style that you hear me speaking in now.
Yes, I do. I noticed that. That's why I'm a fan, kind of.
I drop a lot of F-bombs, and I'm not sort of conventionally polite. So I'm also, mixed race. I'm also pretty gender non-conforming, even though I don't know how I look. I can't even tell.
You have a partner who I talked about while you were gone.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
That's good because that is why I met you.
I'm like mostly gay, I guess, except that once in a while I like a little vitamin D. Let's not go there right now. That's a whole other topic. But
all right. So I just want to say something, what you're talking about, all the stuff you're talking about, yet you're taking the triggers and you're putting him in that song. You're talking about being a manicurist. I mean, you're making fun of the stereotypes. You know,
because what we have discovered this year very, very viscerally is that what we call microaggressions, name calling,
Yes.
making fun of someone's accent, whatever. Those are microaggressions. No one's going to die, right? No one's going to die if you go ching chong when you leave the nail salon. But actually, maybe somebody is going to die because
Right.
those microaggressions start accumulating in the sort of social mindset. And
Right.
then when you're in a time of crisis like coronavirus,
Mm-hmm.
people, especially people who feel the most weak and disenfranchised, poor people, people who have been targets of racism, people who have been disenfranchised or are unhoused, like people who are vulnerable, and other people who are just maybe a little unhinged, they take this cue from our societal disdain for Asians, which just could start with something as little as going ching chong coming out of a nail salon. But they take that as permission. And then when you get the president of the United States doing that, it's permission to sort of whack down somebody who you feel is weaker than you. And that's why it's alarmingly, unfortunately, women and very, very old Asian Americans that are getting attacked, like on a daily
Right.
basis. It is heartbreaking to
Yep.
read story after story of grandpas and grandmas getting hit with bricks. And it sounds like I'm exaggerating, like for comic effect. I'm not. They are literally hitting people, old ladies, old Asian ladies sitting at bus stops with a brick. And then there's also, there's also just the verbal abuse that's going on. But, I'm not even addressing that because, whatever, like, verbal abuse, it is psychologically traumatizing, but the crisis is that a guy went around the New York subway for 2 hours and attacked 7 different Asian women, targeted and attacked. Another guy went to Atlanta and shot up a nail salon and killed 7 women. We just did a rally in Times Square called Break the Silence. And another issue is that my community traditionally, historically, because of our culture of shame and some other things, do not report hate crimes as such. Don't even report the crimes. Many reasons why: language barriers, shame, maybe their immigrant status. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of reasons why, but I think it's a lot of actual just shame. Like, Asians, especially new immigrants, are like, put your head down, work hard, get ahead, make a better life for your kids. That's it. You get called a chink in the street, you just ignore it. You get hit with the brick, go to the hospital, just ignore it. They're not like in the sort of mindset, and they also don't want to be a squeaky wheel. Like, that's what the model minority is. Like, people talk about the model minority myth as a thing amongst Asian Americans. I'm schooling you now about racism, Barsha. The model minority myth cuts both ways. There's the model minority myth that comes from the Westerners perceiving Asians to be the model minority. So there's a lot of resentment because, they like keep their heads down and work hard and open stores and all study math and go to medical school and stuff. And so there's that outward look of the model minority. But then there's the inward look too, where we behave like a model minority to not, disrupt things or rock the boat with our eye on financial freedom and freedom for our kids. So anyways, these are all issues that are particular to us, but not really, because a lot of immigrant cultures cross over into this. But right now we are unfortunately at a really big time of crisis. So disorientalism, we've done it 3 times live, a couple of times online. Our next one is during Asian American Heritage Month at Joe's Pub, May 2nd. It's going to sell out.
Yeah, I'm going.
People, if you would like to come, I will put a ticket link on my Instagram tonight. They go on sale tomorrow. I haven't even started to publicize it, but I'm very confident we're going to sell it out. And I hope we sell it out. And it's our moral duty to sell it out because this is a way you can actually do something about the Asian hate that is rampant in the city, is by uplifting, supporting, and amplifying Asian American artists who, at the end of the day, are going to have to tell these stories.
That was me.
Thank you for those nice claps. I appreciate it.
And on that note, because you are such an activist, and by the way, you'll probably see Kate as guest star in a lot of TV shows that you might watch. I saw her a few times. I'm watching in my pajamas, and I saw her on what's the New York cop show that you were on?
I've been on Law and Order a bunch of times, yeah.
Law and Order. All of a sudden I see there's Kate as a perp. There's Kate as not a perp.
There's Kate as a lawyer. Yeah, that's right.
There's Kate as a lawyer. They hire you as a lot of different things.
They have in the past. I hope I get to go on the new one that just started.
Yeah.
I hope
But
so.
would you mind having people come up and ask you questions? You're talking about some really deep stuff. So I just want to say,
Yeah, I don't
okay.
mind at all. And we
So
haven't.
please,
What time is it?
no,
it's
we get
already that
another. We
time.
started late, so if you don't mind, we're going to
I
go.
don't mind. We also have
Okay.
to talk about how to hustle in New York City and make a
Yes.
life for yourself, right? Like, and
Yeah.
how to do
Well,
10 jobs. But let's talk about let's answer some
okay.
questions.
If
shall we?
anybody during this section would like to come up, please go to the little two white lines. They call it the hamburger on the lower left of the screen, and click on that and invite.
In Australia, we call it the fur burger, which is also a euphemism for lady parts.
Thank you. The fur
You're
burger.
welcome. You're welcome, America.
Thank you. So definitely hit that little hamburger and
Hit the
ask.
fur burger.
Hit the fur burger. Ask to come on stage and speak. You can be on camera or not. You can also just come up audio wise if you want to talk to Kate and ask her anything. But go ahead and start talking about what you said about New York City.
Yeah, I
and
feel
how-
like this is a really important time for people are very discouraged in the art. I don't know if artists are listening to this, but I'm an artist, and like I said, I have like ties in the stand-up community, the theater community, the music community, sort of whatever. And as a writer producer, I feel like people are very discouraged right now. The pandemic really took its toll. And unless you're like starring in a Broadway show, people are a little messed up. A lot of people are quitting the business and moving out of town and
Yeah.
trying to become carpenters or bakers or start, online children's book writing. Like there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I applaud all of it. But I also want to give a little like word of encouragement. Like my career, because for different reasons, I always had to hustle. And I'm not just going to say hashtag racism, because it's not that. It's opportunity. It's luck and preparation, and it's a lot of
Because
luck.
you are a Juilliard graduate.
Yeah, but I haven't had a ton of commercial
joking.
success as an actor. I just haven't, and I am surrounded by people, my very very good friends, who are giants in their fields. And I remember one day, in December the last year, I was in California and I was going down Sunset Boulevard towards a doctor's appointment, and I looked up, and there was two billboards. On the left was one of my best friends on a TV show on their billboard, and on the right was one of my best friends. Like I literally drove through a portal of two of my best friends. And I thought, wow, that's so like, in another time and place that is a very uncomfortable feeling as an artist, to feel like you're not being successful in a public way, that you feel successful and you feel smart and you feel talented, but you don't feel like rewarded outwardly. And I have to say that like my entire perspective has shifted since then to this. I just want to practice art and expression with people who I feel bring amazing energy and talent and intellect and are really awesome collaborators in the room, whatever that means for you. For me, it's a very specific thing. I like to practice at the highest level that I can possibly practice. So I want to be with people who are allowing me to be writing or creating or directing or whatever at the highest level. And as a hyphenate, I've had to, I executive produced 2 television shows.
I know. I was going to ask about that. I know.
Because I wasn't getting enough acting work. And so as a comic, I was like, I don't know how to write. So I wrote a couple of TV shows. I worked as a brand consultant, which may sound different than being an artist and really dry and marketing-y. But honestly, it's all about audiences, and it's all about what are you selling, and it's all about like what are you presenting and what's the story you're telling. They're all related, as a producer. Like during the pandemic, I produced specials with the ACLU, and I worked with the Meteor, who are the editor of Glamour magazine, has started an amazing feminist organization called the Meteor, where she brings the best feminists still alive on this planet together to have meaningful conversations about how to change the world. And I was writing with them. Like these are all such beautifully fulfilling achievements and experiences, so that I'm driving through the billboard of my 2 friends who are all millionaires and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Dolores Huerta, the founder of the United Farm Workers Movement, and I are now friends, and she may be sleeping on my couch in a couple of weeks. This is a Presidential Medal of Freedom on her, So it's like having Cesar Chavez on your couch, but better because it's Dolores Huerta and she's a woman. So like this is my life, my beautiful life now, and I think all artists need to continue to think of themselves not from what is coming at them from the outside in terms of, their credits or their cash or whatever, but whatever you need to do to sustain yourself, and then just keep practicing at the highest level in any form of expression that you have, this is what makes a beautiful, sustainable life. And you have to not limit yourself. Yeah. Don't limit yourselves, people. Remember that if you are an artist, you know how to tell stories, and you're not just useful in your one discipline that you
Little
have.
thing. Yes, I agree totally.
You're not just a singer-songwriter. You're not just an actor. You're a person who could walk into a company and say, that story's boring. You need to cut. And there should be like a commercial that has this. You could walk into, any kind of business and bring your vision to that business, and you will find that it starts to like multiply. When I was in branding, I went into branding because I needed a bunion operation and I couldn't do stand-up comedy on crutches. So I decided to get a job, and I happened to get this job in branding. And God, it was boring as hell. And I was on the subway thinking, oh God, if I died tomorrow, someone else would just replace me. What's the point of being alive? But while I was working on those accounts in that branding firm, I learned how to speak to suits. And I was able to learn about new technology before augmented reality hit us with the QR codes and stuff that we all use now. Back in 2010, they were having that technology and they were using it in limited ways. Well, I learned about it at my branding firm because we were working with Hewlett Packard. So I took that technology and I put it on TV at a kids' adventure show. You see what I mean? You don't know where you're going to find inspiration.
You're just a creative person walking around. Joanne, Joanne came on stage.
Hi, Joanne.
Do you want to be on camera or just on
I can see you a little bit.
audio?
Camera can do it, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we hear you perfectly.
If you want camera, I'm okay. Yes, it's
okay.
Okay,
Hi,
there
Joanne.
Hey,
the
Joanne.
There
me
you are.
after a day. No, I love what you just said, Kate, with just the whole creativity part. And, being that I've been in the entertainment industry, I'm also like a career coach, and I'm seeing what's going on in the entertainment industry and how many people are trying to repurpose themselves because it is tougher, but everything you're saying is just so true, from the Asian hate, which is just, and the first generations, because I used to teach figure skating and I did it in Great Neck, which was by Flushing. So none of the parents could speak English.
Yeah, okay.
It was so cute. And I loved them all of them. They were the politest, the most fun to work with. So we're living in a crazy world. I hope some generation can help change us, but the creativity is what's so important. Everything you say is terrific. I hope people listen because it's so important.
I hope so too. And thank you for saying so. I really appreciate it.
That's really
Thank you, Joanne. Yeah, thank you. This is great. Anybody
Who's
else?
Charlotte?
Charlotte. I invited Charlotte up to.
Here I am.
Oh, Charlotte. Okay. Do you want to be? Joanne, I'm going to swap you off.
Yep, you can say
you don't want to be on video. Okay, go ahead.
Keep Joanne. Joanne looks fantastic. It's great to see Joanne, but Kate, you have made our day. And I say our because my wife and I live here in Vancouver, Washington. Mm-hmm. And she came to the United States with her father at age 13 from the Philippines. Oh. It was a dream of her grandparents and her parents. Her grandfather survived the Bataan Death March in World War II. The whole thing. So he became a United States Army commissioned officer during the war. He survived that horrible death march and the concentration camps thereafter. And so she, being the oldest of her family, came over here. And I suspect you've heard this story and have lived a part of this story yourself. She's very excited because she just got home from work. And so we're kind of trying to do the two earbud thing where we're splitting because she's still getting on Fireside. But I want you to know how much this has touched her heart already. I am so grateful to you, Kate, for your share.
Well, I encourage you to, there will soon be a Disorientalism website up. My website has fun content. My Slanty-Eyed Mama website has fun content. These websites are a little legacy and I'm, revamping them as fast as I can. But honestly, the way forward for us as Asians and non-Asians in the arts and not is to continue to practice empathy and to uplift the storytellers. And by uplift, I mean follow them on social media. It matters. It matters. And hit like on their post. That matters. Tell your friends to do it too. Like that actually matters. Watch their films. Like there's a movie right now on Pixar called Turning Red. Everybody go watch it. It's on Disney Plus. Go find it and watch it, because money talks in America and bullshit walks. And so show the support, and you don't even have to pay. Just watch the fucking stuff or hit like. These are free things. You can get real crazy. You can sponsor shows like Disorientalism. We're opening up sponsorship, Deborah. We're going to make sure that small businesses like lawyers and people who have their own businesses can sponsor us, because I feel like it's important for me to like pay the artists a few $100 to do their thing, you know? So I'm like, my plastic surgeon
What?
is one of my first sponsors. Yeah. And she was amazing. Oh, we just did a little chin contouring, nothing major. I am a proud Asian woman. Okay. No shame in my game. So listen,
I love it. I didn't know
I've been doing injectables since the mid.
Yeah, you do look amazing. Can everybody
Thank
clap?
you. That's amazing. Right. And she is one of the only Black female plastic surgeons in Beverly Hills. So kudos to her. And she'll be appearing on the website soon. So anyways, like you can support, you can buy their t-shirt, you can buy their album, you can send them a Venmo. Like there's so many things you can do, that actually, and these things make a difference instead of sitting at home. And you can buy someone a pepper spray. There's so many things you can do that are small. Oh my God. I have every weapon. I have here, I'm going to get it. I have a blade that I got.
Oh, here we go.
Spray. I have, here, let me show
Have you
my
personally
blade.
encountered this, by the way?
Well, look at that. One move. I'm going to stab the patriarchy in the fucking neck. This is my police grade. This is police grade pepper spray that I have on all my keychains. I'm not messing around. Listen, I feel like, this is unfortunately the time where I have brass knuckles someone gave me. Every time another hate crime comes, I get another weapon. I'm going to be very loaded down by the time, this year is over.
I have one of those noise ones. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
I have one of the noise ones that you pull out and it makes this noise. Well, actually, my son had my car yesterday and it was on my car keys. Uh-oh. He didn't know what it was. He stepped on it and he goes, "Mother, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm a little old lady. I want to be protected." And he goes, "Please, Mother, that's not going to scare somebody away. Go get pepper spray."
Pepper spray is good. There's something called pepper gel where it just like attacks you like slime. So I like the pepper and it doesn't spray back at you. So, we have these weapons. I don't want these weapons, but I carry them,
Can I ask you one thing though? In your art, you're fearless. Yeah. You're fearless in your art. And
I'm going to get canceled eventually. Something's going to happen and I will get canceled for sure.
You think? Well,
oh yeah.
Like hell you are.
I feel like I've been canceled all my life, frankly, though, as a person I'm not a conventional body size, conventional for actors. I'm obese for actors and normal for everybody else. I am not one race, so that's a difficult thing in the casting world. And I'm sort of gender non-conforming and a little bit of a badass, and I haven't gone a conventional route. So in a way, I've been canceled my whole life, so
that's why maybe you're fearless.
It's just the millennials' turn now to cancel me. We'll see. They'll misinterpret something on purpose and not let me talk my way out of it. That's what's going to happen. That's what they do.
Well, everybody should go to katerigg.com. I'm serious.
I'm going to go.
Well, you know what's more important? Follow me on the freaking Instagram at Kate Rigg NYC. That means more meaningful to me.
Okay. We'll do. Absolutely.
Understood. You've got our support. Thank you so much.
There will be a live stream for you, Charlotte. Joe's Pub's going to live stream that May 2nd show. So you can watch it on the Public Theater's web YouTube channel or whatever.
Oh, I look forward to it.
That's going to be great. I'm actually going to go in person.
Yeah, man.
My mother's going to be in town. Maybe I can take my mother. Did you know my mother's in the audience, by the way?
Oh, hi, Barsha Barsha.
Martha. Look at her, Martha Barsha. Look, and can we acknowledge everyone here too?
Dee Dee's mom is Marsha. Your mom is Martha.
Exactly. There's Jill, and I suppose her partner, and Charlotte, Joanne.
You got a lot of lesbians in your audience.
Yeah, right. We don't even know who's watching on YouTube because we're simulcasting
That's
right
right.
now.
Could be
Even the
lesbians on
beginning of the
YouTube,
show
too.
where I didn't know what was going on. But I do want to ask you, do you want to tell us about anything upcoming, or is it secret
That's
yet?
it. That's it. May, that's the big one. May 2nd,
That's great.
Disorientalism at the Public Theater. You can go to the Public Theater online and find it as of tomorrow. To buy tickets, it'll be on my Instagram at KateRigg_NYC. And also, you can watch it if you're not in New York City. They will be doing a live stream. And the live streams are pretty good quality because I'm paying for the 3-camera hang so that there's a lot of nice shots and good sound.
Oh, that's good. I want to
Yeah,
ask, can I just ask you a couple more things? Because I love talking to you. Okay. One, who did you look up to?
Whoopi Goldberg, John Leguizamo, Gilda Radner, Mahatma Gandhi, and Annie Lennox.
You just wrote those off the top. They're all so different. That's amazing.
That's
it. And it took
here's
me
a compliment. You don't look like you would know Gilda or be around when Gilda.
I wasn't around, but I was.
Okay.
I was one of those kids who watched a lot of old Saturday Night Lives. You know, I wasn't around. She was gone, I think, by the time I sort of woke up. But those are my, and also, you know,
Amazing.
Laurence Olivier, Stanislavski, my beautiful mentor and teacher, Michael Howard, who's on the wall of my living room. There he is.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I want to ask. Thank you. These are just going to be rattled off because these are the things I've wondered about you. You actually were featured in 3 PBS specials. Is that correct?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, and it was about the perceptions of Asians in America, wasn't it?
Some were, some weren't. Yeah, all of it was about the work that I do about Asians in America. So yes, for all intents and purposes. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you always go in with an activist brain into your performing arts? Because I've experienced you that way. I laugh. I wonder if I should be laughing. Like I'm going back and forth with.
You should always be laughing is the answer to that question.
I know that, but I'm thinking, wow, she's really going there a lot of the time.
Oh yeah. And it's scary, right? It's scary for me too, because that's why I don't have, it doesn't matter. That's why I made the choices I made, and some of them paid off and some of them didn't. Let me put it that way. But I don't regret anything, and I've always been a little bit activist. When I was in high school, I started a club called the Flamingo Foundation because I thought flamingos were so badass. They only stood on one leg. They're pink for no reason other than they eat kelp, and they're like these beautiful birds that are very fragile, but they're kind of killer as well. And so I wanted, and they're unique in nature. And so I started the Flamingo Foundation. We raised money for charities in my high school, like around the neighborhood, Covenant House, and we did coat drives and stuff. So I've always that's just been my bent.
That's amazing.
We were the lavender donkeys out here.
See, the lavender donkeys and the flamingos could have gotten together. I'm also the new chief
Joanne, I'm turning off your video just for a sec. Okay, go ahead.
You turned yourself off. That's hilarious, Deborah. I'm also the new chief creative officer for something called the Center for Diversity, Disability, and Inclusion, DD&I, in Cincinnati, which I'm excited to be starting up with them. Wow. It's a diversity think tank that's run by members of the disability community, and so I'm a creative officer, the chief creative officer for that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, isn't that cool, Joanne?
Yeah, I got to get on that goddamn speaker circuit and make some money, people.
Yeah.
I remember. You know, that is one thing, and then the other thing that I wanted to say is your movie that you talked about. Can I say it once because I love saying it? Happy, Lucky, Golden, Tofu, Panda, Dragon, Good Time, Fun Show.
Yeah, it's not on the web. It's not available anywhere.
I was just going to ask. Can
you know why? I can send it to people. Here's why. This is
why is it not? Because didn't Carrie Preston direct it?
Yes, but it's a brutal culture, Deborah Barsha. This world is very brutal right now, especially to Asian people and especially to women over 40, which I am. Although Asians don't raisin, ladies. So anyhow, I made a conscious choice to not just put it out there right now because I feel I am, as a human being, too vulnerable to attack. And people are crazy. And, you know, even Kathy Griffin, with all her millions of dollars, had to really shore herself up.
She couldn't fly. She couldn't fly.
Couldn't do anything. And she's rich. I don't have that kind of dosh, and it's easy to find me. I don't want to get swatted into my apartment. I don't want to get doxxed. I don't want to get murdered. And honestly, when you say things about racism, I'll give you a quick anecdote. I wrote a story on Medium called "My Mother Was a Brown-Skinned Asian Immigrant. She Was Also a Racist. Now What?" And it's about my mother's internalized racism and stuff, okay? I was talking about my own fucking mother. And I got attacked in the comments and direct messages and stuff by white people saying that I was a racist and how dare I, and blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I'm talking about my mom. What the fuck is wrong with you? And you think all white people are this? Like, people went nuts just on a little article I wrote about my own family. So I have, and it's because people, frankly, a lot of people are dumber than me, and they don't know how to read nuance, and they don't know how to read, the vocabulary. I know it's making me sound really snobby, but I'm just saying, like, I don't have time for the hoi polloi to come for me. And so that piece stays in academia. It stays when I choose to share it with people in academia. Eventually, maybe when I'm dead, I'll release it so that I don't have to get attacked in my apartment. And I have another film called Zombie Asian Moms that I'm currently...
Forgot about Zombie Asian Moms.
That's another movie that's similar to Happy Lucky Golden Tofu Panda Dragon Good Time Fun Fun Show. I've had so much trouble with finding the right editor for that, so I still don't have it edited. We shot it in 2018, 2019, but I will get it out soon. And those two together, maybe I would release as companion pieces in a set, but I would just sell them privately. I still don't think I would put them on the web because I'm not up for it. And people without huge financial capabilities, it's hard to protect yourself now from people crazies on the internet. So that is why I'm being a coward about it, ladies. But I don't care. That's what it is.
I first of all, I want to thank you. I know we had a little technical difficulty at the beginning, but you are such a presence. You're just such a performer.
I'll lip sync for you again if you want. I'll do it.
I want to go out with this last song because I love it.
All right, here we go.
Barsha,
Barsha, yes?
Just quickly, can I just say something to Kate? My wife is just touching her heart, and she's very timid, but I just want you to know how much she wants this communicated with you. And so I have learned it, but it is the greatest way to say how honored we are that you came to speak today, and you brought it, girl. You brought it so much, and that is this. Iki nagagalakitang makilala.
What does that mean?
That means it is the greatest honor to make your acquaintance.
Oh, I love it.
You tell your wife that I am an Indonesian person, which is the ethnic ancestor to Filipinos, right? And that I salute her in my blood lineage, and that we really do have to uplift and celebrate each other on a regular basis in ways big and small. So thank you very much. That meant a lot.
Indeed. Thank you.
That is really great. Wonderful.
Can I react? Am I allowed to clap? What happens if I clap?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can react, but on the bottom is a react button, and then you push a reaction and you push
clap.
send. Oh, you clap for yourself.
I clap for everybody. What's happening?
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go out with Kate lip syncing to "Me Love You Long Time."
Yeah, it really kicks in after the second verse. Do we have time? It's like
sure. What you want me to go? Where do you want me to go? Oh, I can go. It's only 4 minutes, and so what? We'll go over a minute. Here we go. Me love you long time.
Here we go, everybody.
Kate Rigg, everybody mute yourself so we get good sound. Here we go.
Living room lip sync. Here we go.
I'm a flower, exotic blossom of the east, blossoming power. Erotic pollen to the bee, I'll be your treasure. Open me up and look inside, look for the pleasure. Ancient secrets that I hide, mail order brides. Hand delivered per request, mail order lies. Delivered east, delivered west.
Western eyes. Uh-oh.
Something happened.
Oh, too bad. That was getting good. That was getting hot. What happened, Barsha?
You can't hear me?
Oh, here it comes. Now it's coming.
Torn apart. Look at my face. Never the same in the same place.
That's okay. You didn't miss much.
Delicate oriental lotus flower. Tender teardrop falling past the wee hour. Pearl of the east on the necklace of the west. Jasmine scented concubine in rose silk dress. Me love you long time. Me love you long time.
Me love you long time.
ride on the Orient Express. Take the overripe mind to alter consciousness. Can you make believe what you see is what you get? What's up your sleeve in that gentleman's bet? 50-cent massage, 50 number one wives. $50 says you can't distinguish the lies. Pearl cream plastered on a China doll face. Opium for the dragons that you chase. Me love you long time. Look at the sun. The eclipse has just begun. Look at the moon. Her new phase is coming soon. Look at the trees rising up from Phoenix Sea. Look at me. Can you believe what you see? Delicate oriental lotus flower. Tender teardrop falling past the wee hour. Pearl of the east on the necklace of the west. Jasmine scented concubine in raw silk dress. Me love you long time. 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 In my raw silk dress, I said raw. Funky, funky, sucky, sucky all night long. No, I'm not gonna take the bite out of your hung up on G.I. John. Hey, you're way too hard to pick up the phone. Calling all slanty-eyed hoes, Mr. Honey. Is that what you wanna hear? You so corny. Look at your eyes round with fear. Dear Uncle Sam, with your dreams of Charlie Chan. What? Find my hands, the new world needs a new plan. Dominatrix, manicurist, laundry girl, slut. 50-cent masseuse, straight and take a muff to nut. Pearl cream blasted on a China doll mask. Take those ping pong balls out of my cooch, baby. And stick them up your ass. Delicate, oriental, lotus flower. Tender teardrop falling past the wee hour. Pearl of the east, necklace of the west. Jasmine scented concubine in raw silk dress. Me love you long time. Me love you long time. Me love you long, 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 long time. Me love you long time. Me love you long time.
Woo!
Long time. Me love you long time. Me love you long time. Me love you long time.
I'm fading out.
Me love you.
Whoa! Me love you long time by Slanty Eyed Mama. Wow! That is the shit, and that is our show today. And I love you, Kate Siahaan-Rigg. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for coming in and being with us this hour. We will be back next week for Barsha Barsha Barsha.